Trump administration halts Harvard's ability to enroll international students. The move was a major escalation in the administration's efforts to pressure the college to fall in line with President Trump's demands. And I believe they are demanding that the international students re-enroll elsewhere or self-deport. That is fucking insane.
Just revoked Harvard University's ability to enroll any international students. The existing international students there have to transfer out, and no new ones can be accepted in.
This marks a sharp escalation in the ongoing battle between the White House and the nation's oldest university. CNN's Jeff Zeleny is at the White House. Jeff, tell us what's happening here.
Well, Brianna and Boris, there has been an ongoing fight between the White House and Harvard University over the curriculum, over the...
Under what law can he even do that? It's not like the government has that power. Does it even matter? I feel like he wakes up on one side of the bed and is just like, you know what? Today I've decided we're taking care of these fucking Harvard international students. Like, it literally doesn't make sense. It is not even positive in any way. Like, this is quite literally harming America's future and possible national security interests, as a matter of fact. You are literally turning around and saying, oh, some of the best and brightest that have come here from all around the planet, fuck them. I don't give a shit what their research is. Oh, are they working to cure cancer? Well, fuck you, dude. Why can't an American be doing that? It's insane. It makes no sense. It's a petty grievance that he has towards Harvard because Harvard was like, okay, we'll follow through on a lot of the stuff you asked us about the whole anti-Semitism stuff under the guise of like combating anti-Semitism. We will actually change the leadership of the Middle Eastern Studies Institute. But if you keep asking for more, if you want us to do more like anti-woke shit, well, that's a bridge too far. We're going to actually fight back against that. And then Trump has been so pissed off about it that he's like revoking, I don't know, taking away all the grants from Harvard and deciding to do this now. He's fucking on crack.
The federal funding and now over international students. As you said, this is a dramatic escalation. We are learning this announcement from the Department of Homeland Security. Secretary Kristi Noem making the announcement this afternoon, essentially giving a warning to Harvard that they are no longer allowed to admit international students. So she writes this in part: they have lost their student and exchange visitor program certification as a result of their failure to adhere to the law, she says. Let this serve as a warning to all universities and academic institutions across the country. So let's break that down a touch. She's accusing them, Harvard University.
Yeah, also Chinese students paying full tuition is a pillar in the financial aid system. This will destroy university funding. Exactly. Bro, you're gonna feel some type of way. There was also somebody else in the chat that was saying like, yeah, he's gonna take away someone's ABG and then that person is forever loyal to the Communist Party of China. That person is now an asset, okay, for the Chinese state. He's deporting Asian baby girls. This is unacceptable. A bridge too far. We must put an end to this right now.
University of failing to adhere to the law. Of course, there were some rules essentially that were put out as a strings, if you will, on federal funding for what type of a curriculum universities could use, what type of DEI programs they couldn't have. Of course, this all stems from protests on college campuses. Harvard University is pushing back very hard at this. Just a statement coming out just a few moments ago.
Like all internationals, Canadians, Israelis. Come on. Come on. Yeah, okay. Okay. Canadians, yes. Israelis, I think they'll probably not do that.
Harvard is saying that they will challenge this legally as well. And they go on to say this: the government's action is unlawful, Harvard says. We are fully committed to maintaining Harvard's ability to host international students and scholars who hail from more than 140 countries and enrich the university and this nation immeasurably. So how many students are we talking about here? Well, in this academic year alone, almost 30% of Harvard's student body were made up of international students, some 6,793, according to this year's academic record. So the government is saying that these students must transfer. We are told that they are likely to be able to transfer to another U.S. institution, not necessarily return to their home countries. But of course, this will be one of the many actions of this administration that will be challenged legally. But certainly, once again, a dramatic escalation from the U.S. government against Harvard. Boris and Brianna.
Certainly is, Jeff Zeleny. Thank you. And with us now to discuss is Ryan Enos, the professor of government at Harvard University. He's also a member of Harvard's chapter of the American Association of University Professors, which is currently suing the Trump.
No, of course this doesn't stand. Are you kidding me? It's perhaps the dumbest thing he's done so far. It's like writing an executive order to shut down Harvard. Okay, good luck. You know what I mean? No, this does not happen. Okay. Yeah, it's going to be another 9-0 Supreme Court slam dunk, I guess, for yet another enemy of Donald Trump.
Trump administration. Professor, thank you for being with us. This decision that Harvard can no longer enroll foreign students and existing foreign students have to transfer or lose their legal status. What's your reaction to this?
I think it's awful and it's outrageous. It's another pattern of the Trump administration taking authoritarian actions. In the United States, the president does not have the power to punish people, target people for punishment because he doesn't like their politics. And he's targeting Harvard because he...
Yeah. That's kind of the whole point, don't you think? That's kind of the entire... That is what he's doing.
He thinks he politically disagrees with them. It's a political vendetta. And he's doing this on the back of students who were admitted to Harvard from around the world for their merit, for things that they accomplished in life. And now he's trying to punish them, to hold them hostage, essentially to try to win what he considers to be this political fight with Harvard. That's what authoritarians do. It's not done by the rule of law.
Secretary Noem says the administration is holding Harvard accountable for fostering violence, anti-Semitism, and coordinating with the Chinese Communist Party on its campus. What do you say to that? I see you shaking your head.
Yeah, I mean, I could shake my head all day against those things. I would ask them what violence they're pointing to, what anti-Semitism they're pointing to, what coordination with the Chinese Communist Party they're pointing to. These are outrageous statements. And I think it's become increasingly clear that the public doesn't believe this. The American public doesn't believe this. And they are leveling these outrageous claims to try to win this political battle. And in a certain respect, and I think we see this pattern with them, it doesn't matter whether these accusations they are making are true. They're all a pretext for this trying to punish Harvard and punish other universities as a way to bring them under their control. And as I said earlier, that is what authoritarians do. It's not the way things should be done in the United States.
Some of this may come down to what particular free speech may be allowed, but the secretary is also citing Harvard's own report. Harvard released 2 reports last month on anti-Israel bias, and there was another one on anti-Muslim, anti-Arab, and anti-Palestinian bias, finding in part that Jewish students had faced bias, suspicion, intimidation, alienation, shunning, contempt, and sometimes effective exclusion from various curricular and co-curricular parts of the university and its community. It also found that Arab, Muslim, and Palestinian students and faculty who voiced concern over rising death tolls in Gaza and the unfolding humanitarian crisis there overwhelmingly felt abandoned, and some believed they were actively silenced by Harvard administrators. What work do you think Harvard has to do on these issues?
You know, Harvard is a big, diverse place, bringing people together from across the world and from different communities across the United States, and putting them in a place where they live together and they study together and they work together. And then when things happen in the world, like happened in Gaza and happened in Israel, are going to touch our community. And of course, people are just going to disagree. And sometimes it's going to lead to things.
Yeah. Oh, brother. Yeah, Jake Sherman posted this. Bro, this is literally like, this was the same narrative that took place after Brian Thompson's assassination, right? We don't know who did it, obviously. Like, remember when people were like, oh, it's so scary. Like media figures would say like, it's so scary to be in the streets of New York City. And then people would just be like, what are you talking about? Like, what do you mean it's so scary to be on the streets of New York? Well, like, it's so dangerous to be a CEO in America. Like, it's so dangerous to be a CEO in America right now. We need to fucking create a new hotline for CEOs that are afraid. It's like, this isn't to undermine anti-Semitism and anti-Semitic incidents. Like, they do take place. But by and large, like, the idea that this is going to happen to you fucking randomly is insane. It's like when people were, after October 7th, they were like, oh no, a day of jihad is going to take place in the Upper West Side. Like, what the fuck are you on crack, dude? What the fuck are you saying? It is literally a safer place for Jews objectively than fucking Tel Aviv is, okay? Whether it is the safety and security that you have of never having to fucking hear psytrance music, okay? That's a big point of safety, I think. Or even getting spitted on because they accidentally thought you were Christian. Like, what are we talking about, dude? What the fuck is this shit?